Section 21 of Birds, Volume 3, Number 2, February 1898. Recorded for LibriVox.org by M. Lee. The Lesser Prairie Hen. Extending over the Great Plains from western and probably southern Texas, northward through Indian Territory to Kansas, is said to be the habitation of the lesser prairie hen, though it is not fully known. It inhabits the fertile prairies, seldom frequenting the timbered lands except during sleety storms or when the ground is covered with snow. Its flesh is dark, and it is not very highly esteemed as a table bird. The habits of these birds are similar to those of the prairie hen. During the early breeding season, they feed upon grasshoppers, crickets, and other forms of insect life, but afterwards upon cultivated grains gleaned from the stubble in autumn and the cornfields in winter. They are also fond of tender buds, berries, and fruits. When flushed, these birds rise from the ground with a less whirring sound than the ruffed grouse or bob white, and their flight is not as swift, but more protracted, and with less apparent effort, flapping and sailing along, often to the distance of a mile or more. In the fall, the birds come together and remain in flocks until the warmth of spring awakes the passions of love. Then, in the language of Colonel Goss, as with a view to fairness and the survival of the fittest, they select a smooth, open courtship ground, usually called a scratching ground, where the males assemble at the early dawn to vie with each other in carnage and pompous display, uttering at the same time their love call, a loud, booming noise. As soon as this is heard by the hen birds desirous of mating, they quietly appear, squat upon the ground, apparently indifferent observers, until claimed by victorious rivals, whom they gladly accept and whose caresses they receive. Audubon states that the vanquished and victors alike leave the grounds to search for the females, but he omits to state that many are present and mate upon the scratching grounds. The nest of the prairie hen is placed on the ground in the thick prairie grass and at the foot of bushes when the earth is barren. A hollow is scratched in the soil and sparingly lined with grasses and a few feathers. There are from 8 to 12 eggs, tawny brown, sometimes with an olive hue, and occasionally sprinkled with brown. During the years 1869 and 1870, while the writer was living in southwestern Kansas, which was then the far west, prairie chickens, as they were called there, were so numerous that they were rarely used for food by the inhabitants, and as there was then no readily accessible market, the birds were slaughtered for wanton sport. End of section 21. This recording is in the public domain.